Yeah, g'day guys. Made a big mistake on my recent project, so let's go outside and check it out.
Found a new use for the crane. Do some whacking.
Someone said it's a tiny deck.
Bit of a tight budget on this one.
So this is what I was telling you about before. On my car, this is a 2012 BT50. Mazda BT50. So the height on this is not too bad. I've got the tongue in the lower position, and it's really only that little bit that this could be lower. Now, because we don't have the load share on the axles, it's not coming down, and there's no jockey wheel on it, so I haven't tried to lift it or anything like that. And you give it a bit of a wobble, it goes nowhere. So there's no ball weight, and for the vehicle to tow the trailer properly, you need ball weight, so it actually tows relatively straight. So it's even a bit worse with Gary's Jeep, you know, in the previous video. But my BT50 isn't a four-wheel drive, so it won't pull out from down the bottom of the dam anyway. This is a high rider model, so it's certainly sitting at the right height as a four-wheel drive. It just doesn't have all those requirements like front diff and transfer case and things like that. So if I do the 75mm drop down, which I'll show you once I take the trailer inside, it'll be down here. So I'll have to use the jockey wheel to lift it up to get it onto the ball, and then it'll have ball weight and be able to tow properly. So not that I'm towing it anywhere other than on the property, and it's not a lot different with the tractor. It's actually at full height because I use a 3-point linkage on the back, and it's at full height and it only just reaches that. So it's not much higher than what I can get here with the car. So, but that's not adjustable. The tractor one is. Like Gary's Jeep, it's not high by any means, and it's not been lowered, or it's just standard height, and the tongue is turned to the highest point. So we've got quite a bit of indifference. If you look there, we've got about 125, probably 130mm without that rubber protector on there. Although the coupling only goes down to about there. So you could easily say 120mm too high. So what I may have to do is either make a gooseneck so it's all level, or just put the cup link base plate on the bottom and cut out the center of this. So what I'll show you back in the workshop. We'll get it back in the workshop and I'll explain what I'm exactly trying to do. So we'll nose it in and fix her up. Let's get into it, eh? So this is how we're going to fix it. We're going to just remove these bolts, take off the coupling, and remove this plate, and then cut down the channel. Like this is the channel, the A-frame channel. So we're going to cut down on the inside on both sides, wide enough for this coupling to fit down in between it, and then we're going to weld a plate on the bottom. So, and then we're going to drill it and put the coupling in there. So it'll be effectively this thickness plus the height of that. So it'll be roughly 80mm lower. It won't quite fix the tow ball height for Gary's Jeep, but it'll certainly get a lot closer. And we're not going on the road with it, so it's just going to be a little bit easier to drive around and hook up. So when we do actually have the trailer loaded with water, it'll load to the front a bit more anyway, so it'll drop down. So it should be nearly perfect. That's the theory anyway. So let's start pulling this apart and start cutting. Let's get into it. Here we go. Well, that's off. I kind of forgot that I'd welded it on the underside. Like from when it was upside down, I welded it along there. That kind of made it a bit difficult. That's why I had to cut through the top, through the actual original plate. So we're not going to be using that bit. Lucky I got more. So I'll give this a bit of a clean up and then do a little bit of marking out so I can put 2 cuts all the way through. So we'll clean that up and do a couple of cuts and work out how we're going to mount the bottom plate. Let's get into it. Cut out, and I've just run the flappy disc over it a bit. You can see there's a huge big gap, or looks huge at that close. Here we go. So there's a big gap in there, and the plan is to just have the coupling fit in between at that lower level. It'll be out there somewhere. So if you think about it, if you look at it at that angle, we've dropped 75 plus the thickness of that plate, which is about 5, so it's about 80 mil we've gained in height, and it wasn't really that hard. So I'll put this bit of flat bar here. It's just a bit 100 by 5 mil, so it'll go there somewhere like that. I'll mark it and drill it, and then I can set it up into place and tack weld it, make sure it's all square in line with everything and looks pretty neat and tidy. And then unbolt it, the coupling, unbolt the coupling, and then weld it on, give it some heat. And then I might put a little gusset across the back, put a little gusset across here somewhere. Just a little bit of flat bar, just so these don't have any tendencies to want to twist or anything like that. So nice and easy, just jam that under there. Once I've drilled the holes in it, get the coupling so it's nice and straight, and weld it on. And Bob's your uncle. No offense to any uncles named Bob. Here we go. certainly done the job. If you look at it, we're effectively from here down to here. Well, we're actually above that because we were sitting on this old dodgy plate. So, job done. Let's hook it up to the ute and see how it looks. Here we go. So the jockey wheel's off the ground and the height looks really good. So I think we're about 40 mil lower than where the ball would normally sit. It'll certainly give it load on the ball, so it'll give us some ball weight, which is what we really need in this application. It'll probably level up the trailer a little bit, which will be good because it just looks like it's a tad drop forward. But that'll be perfect for this vehicle and it'll be easy to hook up for the tractor. So let's go and see if we can hook her up to Gary's and see how it looks on his. Here we go. So how's that look for height? Makes a big difference. It still doesn't quite have ball weight for Gary's Jeep, but it'll certainly be a big difference. The jockey wheel isn't touching the ground, so if we put a bit of weight in it, you can see it's jiggling a bit. So when we do actually load the tank, it will, we believe it'll drop down and actually give ball weight, which is what we need. So that's a win. So we're all done on this one. Guys, thanks for hanging around for this long. It's a great result. Certainly going to make it a lot easier for towing from down here at the dam. It's a bit of a haul up the hill. Guys, if you like this video, give us a bit of love and click the old like button. Probably should have got Gary to paint that while I was there. Next time. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.